Hi, welcome to 3-Minute Manna. Our reading this morning comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 9 at verse 24. It says, "Do you not know that those who run in a race all run, but one receives the prize? Run in such a way that you may obtain it." I want you to think for just a few moments today about running the race and what is involved in every race. The first thing we might mention, every runner needs a coach. Hebrews chapter 12 at verse 2 says, "We look unto Jesus as the author and the finisher of our faith." But not only is he our coach in that sense, chapter 6 of Hebrews also says that Jesus is our forerunner. He has gone on ahead of us. It is not that he has not run the race. He has run the race, and he has finished his race, and he is sitting down at the right hand of God. He has shown us the way back to the Father. But also in a race, we know that there's rules. Please notice Paul says, run in such a way that you may obtain it. It must be possible to run in such a way that you do not obtain it. Paul says that he disciplined himself lest he himself should become disqualified. A lot of folks don't respect the rules that are found in Scripture. Jesus said, "If you love me, keep my commandments." There are rules, and if we do not follow those rules, then we ourselves will be disqualified. Every runner needs to have discipline. He says there in verse 26, "Therefore I run thus, and thus I fight." Please notice Jesus does not run for us in that sense. He does not fight for us in that sense. Every man must deny himself, taking up his own cross and following the Lord. That each person has to have self-discipline. Scripture also talks about exercise. In Hebrews chapter 5, at verse 14, it talks about those who have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. The Lord knows we need that exercise. So therefore the Lord allows us to go through trials. James 1 says, "Count it all joy when you fall into various trials, because the Lord knows what will come from those trials, namely patience, that our faith may be perfect," it talks about. We need patience, we need endurance, we need perseverance. But please notice the "we" in that. As we look at these verses, in verse 25 it says, "And everyone who competes for the prize is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a perishable crown, but we for an imperishable." We compete for an imperishable crown. Please notice that we are in this together. Do not discount the fact that we are in it together. There is something to be said about that. It takes self-discipline, but there are other folks also running this race. And we need to recognize that, and we need to remember them in hopes that they remember us. But also, we need to understand that every race has a beginning and an end. And if we do not finish the race, then we do not receive that prize. A lot of folks will say, well, if you don't finish, then you never began to begin with. No, it's possible to begin and not finish. But we understand that as we start the race, that we need to run in such a way that we finish the race. I have responsibilities. We are in this together, but I have responsibilities. Therefore I run, thus I fight. I hope you've enjoyed this study today. God bless you. I hope to see you tomorrow morning.